I'm Abby.
I'm Allie.
We're the Rennick Twins, and this is Oops, I ARTED, a part of the Hayden Collins Intelligence Syndicate.
It's time to get spooky.
That's right, it's spooky month.
Spooky month, October 1st, Halloween.
That's right. So we're actually not going to be talking about Halloween, but something Halloween related. So yeah, we're talking about jack-o'-lantern specifically. The name jack-o'-lantern.
Yes, their real names. The jack-o'-lantern.
So
you're talking about his origin story?
Yeah, if you've been around in the past, 3 months in any store, I'm sure you've seen
Candy buckets or pumpkins?
Halloween decorations. Pumpkins everywhere.
They just popped up the Halloween decorations and
Halloween. It's time for Halloween. Start buying it up. I've seen Halloween decorations in the yards, at my job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and my thing is, like, people are buying pumpkins now, but that pumpkin...
It's gonna be dead.
That pumpkin ain't gonna last.
I need my pumpkin to shine on Halloween.
Is that just a porch pumpkin? Do you just
maybe
uncarved porch pumpkin?
Like it's like a rustic look.
Yeah, but then you pick it up on Halloween and the bottom falls out of it because it's been sitting on your porch for a month.
I don't even want to talk about it. And it's like 90 degrees still, so it's gonna be like rotten.
Anyways, happy Halloween in Georgia.
Yep. What is a jack-o'-lantern to you?
So, well, obviously jack-o'-lantern is a pumpkin that you gut, and then
you gut it.
You gut it. Yeah.
You carve it.
That's a southern term we use here. Anyways,
only in the South.
You take all the insides out of it, and then you smooth it out, and then you draw a face on it and carve it out, and put a little candle in there.
The light.
Just smack a little candle in there.
Right now,
and if you're me,
nowadays people are using LED lights.
If you're me, you carve the pumpkin lid wrong, so then you gotta get some toothpicks to stab into it. That way it'll close without it falling on the candle. Anyways, as far as what they're used for, I think that they're to ward off evil.
So yeah, I like that. So they're definitely, you got all the characteristics down. Pumpkin, carved, lights, warding off evil spirits. I did read a couple of things about that. Also, my dog is crying
because she couldn't behave, so we put her in the kennel, and this is the second time we're recording.
And I'm sorry. So go ahead and go over my sources. I have Mental Floss, which is run by the Green brothers.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. John Green, yeah.
Which is awesome. I have a website called Pumpkin Nook, which, I mean, it doesn't look like the most credible source, but
looks like a 2008.
Yeah, it needs an update. And then Celtic Thunder as well, CelticThunder.com. And a lot of, even though I've used all three of these sources, most of the story is the same, but it's different in ways, and I feel like I pieced it all together in
a big amalgamation.
Yeah, so hopefully I do it justice. Jack-o'-lantern was actually a term used to describe night watchmen and basically like a man with a lantern. You know,
good old Jack.
Jack of the Lantern.
Lantern. Yeah.
Yes. Jack of the Lantern. Whatever, however they say it.
They probably
I'm
said
no good at it.
Jack of the Lantern, and then they just started saying Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. Well, and it was, and oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, it's Jack-o'-lanterns.
Alright, so we already went through this the first time.
Oh yeah.
So, pumpkin carving is Irish?
Yes. So it originated in Ireland.
I bet their accent.
Yeah, exactly. I think the accent kind of helped that. So think a guy walking down the road with a lantern.
Basically, community patrol.
Around this time, it's probably around the 1500s. I think that was the earliest that it was said to be originated from. But, I mean, it's dark.
They didn't have street lights.
No, they didn't have any, they didn't have, like, any lights, bro.
No, electricity has not existed.
They had candle light.
Yeah.
Flame lights.
Which means when it gets dark.
If you were walking, dude, you had a lantern. And ain't no flashlights. You can't just hit the flashlight button on your iPhone like that. We got it easy.
So this guy protected the streets at night.
Well, no, it's like a brand of people. Like the jack-o'-lantern. Who's that? That's a jack-o'-lantern.
But night watchman.
I'm thinking a police officer, like a security.
Yeah, like a patrol.
Yeah, and I mean, patrolling, even a graveyard. I mean, people were digging up bodies. People were needing to watch this stuff.
Yeah, we did have interest in what was inside a body at the time. So we hadn't quite figured that one out yet.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. And taking art history opened my eyes to what people thought about medicine. It's totally insane. You should look into it.
I'm pretty sure that Leonardo da Vinci procured bodies for his anatomical studies.
His drawings were definitely very accurate for the time, and I think that's what they leave it at. So, pumpkins. It started with people. Jack-o'-lantern started with people.
Yes, so a lantern wielder.
Yeah, and so then they started calling jack-o'-lanterns have you ever heard of when you're around a bog or I think it's just a bog or a swamp. The gases from all of the decomposing plants can ignite and create like
the
a
methane.
fireball. Yeah, probably not as dramatic as fireball, but they'll ignite and it creates light.
It's probably a fireball.
That's hard. And they called them jack-o'-lanterns and a bunch of other stuff.
Can you not say the other name?
Hinky punks, hobby lanterns,
Will-o-wisps.
will-o'-the-wisps, fool's fire.
Huh. That's so strange that this is happening often enough for them to have named it.
Well, yeah, you got to think of it. There's no really scientific explanation for it at the time, so they're gonna just make up their own reasoning and storytelling.
Witches!
It seems. Yeah. Oh, that's a bad omen. Yeah, they're also called corpse candles. So that's
very on theme.
So I thought that was really neat. But all of the stories revolve around this guy named Stingy Jack. So
it sounds like there's gonna be a lesson here. I already hear it.
Well, it's kind of weird actually. Stingy Jack, I've read in 2 of the 3 sources that I have that he was a blacksmith and he invited the devil to join him for a drink. That was the first.
I feel like the devil went out a lot more back then than he does now.
Were people more gullible then?
I think the devil just had more time on his hands.
Jack was like wandering around. This is another story. This is the very beginning. Jack was like wandering around drunk, through the countryside, I guess, as people
It's not really
do.
a whole lot to do back then.
And he found a body, and then he realized that it was the devil. He found the devil on the road.
Also drunk, presumably.
I guess. And he said that, he found the body and he was like, oh crap, this is Satan. And he was like, I'm gonna die. This is it for me. And so he was like, well, you know what? What about for my last request, can you take me out for one last drink? Drunk him, trying to go negotiate. Stingy Jack, I read, was known to be like a trickster. So I guess this is the beginning of his charade.
Mischievous.
They go out for a drink. Stingy Jack is totally living up to his name. They're drinking. He's like, who's got the tab? Satan's like, bro, I thought you had the tab.
And he's like, Stingy Jack's like, bro, I thought you was buying. You're supposed to kill me after this. I thought you could at
this
least
is like my last request.
Help me out a little bit here. I'd like a 12-course meal after.
Yeah, I mean, like, I thought you were going to take me out to dinner. He actually ends up convincing the devil that he should turn himself into a coin and let Jack pay for the tab with him, and then they could both get away. So the devil's like, yeah, I can do that, and he does it, and Jack puts him in his pocket with a silver cross, and he's like, got him. Yeah, trick the devil.
See, for me, I thought, okay, so he didn't pay for his tab, Stingy Jack didn't?
No, he just walked out.
Dang. Just dined and dead. See, I'm just trying to, I was waiting for the moment where he puts the devil in the cash register and the devil just, explodes.
No, that would be exciting though. No. So he's like, all right, I tricked him, and I guess he got out because the bartender wasn't paying attention or whatever. And Satan was like, I can't turn back.
Because there's a cross in his pocket.
Yes. He's stuck, and he's like negotiating with Stingy Jack, and Stingy Jack's, you know what? He's like, I'll take the cross out of my pocket and let you turn back as long as you promise me that you won't seek revenge on me for playing this trick on you. Which, come on.
And the devil's like, yeah, bro.
And he's like, and you won't take me to hell. And he's like, all right. Yeah. I got you,
Fingers
bro.
crossed the whole time behind the devil's little coin back.
Well, get this. He was safe for 10 years. And then Satan came back. And Jack was like, okay. And he somehow convinced Satan to climb up an apple tree to pick some fruit.
Man, this Stingy Jack's a real smooth talker.
Also, is Satan super gullible? Yeah, so he climbed up the tree. I think there's another last request thing where he's, oh man, those apples look really good. And I'm
the
starving.
ones way up at the top are the sweetest.
Come on, you don't want to let me die on an empty stomach. Come on.
I'm not going to be able to taste the fresh apple in hell.
So he's like, yeah, whatever. Stingy Jack does what Stingy Jack does best. Put some crosses on the tree real quick. They say different things. They say he carved it in there. They say that he surrounded the base with crosses, this and that. It's an old story.
Yeah, a couple.
And Satan was like, bro, help. And Jack was like, you gotta re-promise that promise. Except this time, instead of 10 years, he said never.
Ever.
So there comes a time where Stingy Jack ends up dying, and he's at the gates of heaven, and God's like, oh, hell no. Nah. And then they send him to hell, and Satan's like, bro, we had an agreement. You can't come here,
Yeah, I can't break that promise. I'm the devil. I will go to hell. And I work here.
So he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And Satan, tosses him an ember because it's dark, and he's like,
go away. Go back to Earth.
and he just was left to wander for eternity.
Purgatory.
And so he carves out a little turnip with a little face in it.
A turnip?
Oh yeah, bro. Sticks that coal right in it. And that was the first jack-o'-lantern.
So that's how he carries it around?
Yeah. So that's where it came from.
He wandered purgatory for the rest of eternity.
With
and
a turnip.
probably still is with a turnip.
And that's what people thought when they saw like a strange light in the forest. Now people are like, aliens, bro, cryptids, bro.
I think I saw Sam's Clans.
Yeah, so that's the origin. It came from Ireland. They carved turnips, beets,
Do
potatoes.
they still do that today?
I don't know if they still carve them.
Can I just say, I feel like it'd be a lot harder to hollow out a potato.
Well, and yeah, but you have to think there weren't pumpkins. Pumpkins are in America.
Pumpkins are the best thing for
Well, yeah, and guess what? When the Irish people started moving to America, they were like, "Whoo, our lives just got so."
Have you heard of gourds? I bet you could carve a squash.
Oh yeah, I bet the gourds would be even creepier.
Oh yeah,
than a
because they're all
regular
like
pumpkin.
twisty
Yeah.
and
I'm gonna
knobby.
I want to do that this year.
There was this really ugly green pumpkin at work. I'm talking like
Those are hard to carve. The bumpy ones.
yeah, and like I wanted to buy it, but then I was like, I am gonna try and carve this pumpkin. I'm gonna be really disappointed. So yeah, jack-o'-lanterns are seen on literally everything during Halloween. The lovely candy buckets, classic candy buckets,
Yes.
are orange jack-o'-lanterns,
Yes,
and
I
now they
have a
come in
couple.
all different colors.
And actually, I want to tell a fun fact kind of on where the pumpkin decorations got popularized. It was actually, I read this on the Mental Floss page, and it started in 1892 in Atlanta. A-Town! And the mayor had a Halloween party, and the mayor's wife had 7 or 8 carved pumpkins on display.
Honey, these are gonna be great. These are gonna go over so well. I heard this story about these people in Ireland, and he's like, that's great, sweetie. Just
Well, and I think, there were a lot of people moving to the East Coast during that time, populating the East Coast mostly. So I think the Irish folk influenced that decision as well.
definitely. Well, that's super cool. Created, basically.
She started a trend that has thrived.
For the past, like, couple hundred years.
I got pumpkin stuff.
Pumpkin stuff. That makes you sound so legit. I got pumpkins. Oh yeah, I'm not a lizard person. I love pumpkins. Spooky. Something so spooky about pumpkins. I don't know, man. So that was a spooky episode.
Yep, it's the Rannick Twins Spooktacular.
Halloween special.
You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes. We're releasing our new stuff on just Hayden Collins radio program right now, so go check that out if you're trying to find new good stuff. So.
At the Hayden Collins radio program on YouTube is where you can find that. All right, anyways, boo-bye.
Bye-bye.